halfpipe is a structure used in gravity extreme sports such as snowboarding, skateboarding, skiing, freestyle BMX, and skating. The structure is wood, concrete, metal, earth, or snow. It resembles a cross-section of a swimming pool, essentially two concave ramps, topped by copings and decks, facing each other across a flat transition, also known as a tranny. Originally half-pipes were half-sections of a large diameter pipe. Since the 1980s, half-pipes contain an extended flat bottom between the quarter pipes. The original style half-pipes are no longer built. Flat ground provides time to regain balance after landing and more time to prepare for the next trick. Half-pipe applications include leisure recreation, skills development, competitive training, amateur and professional competition, demonstrations, and as an adjunct to other types of skills training. A skilled athlete can perform in a half-pipe for an extended period of time by pumping to attain extreme speeds with relatively little effort. Large half-pipes make possible many of the aerial tricks in BMX, skating and skateboarding. For winter sports such as freestyle skiing and snowboarding, a half-pipe can be dug out of the ground or snow, perhaps combined with snow buildup. The plane of the transition is oriented downhill at a slight grade to allow riders to use gravity to develop speed and facilitate drainage of melt. In the absence of snow, dug-out half-pipes can be used by dirt boarders, motorcyclists, and mountain bikers. Performance in a half-pipe has been rapidly increasing over recent years. The current limit performed by a top-level athlete for a rotational trick in a half-pipe is 1440 degrees. In top-level competitions, rotation is generally limited to emphasize style and flow. Origin: in the early 1970s, swimming pools were used by skateboarders in a manner similar to surfing ocean waves. In 1975, some teenagers from Encinitas, California, and other northern San Diego County communities began using 24-foot diameter water pipes in the Central Arizona desert associated with the Central Arizona Project, a federal public works project to divert water from the Colorado River to the city of Phoenix. Tom Stewart, one of these young California skateboarders, looked for a more convenient location. Stewart consulted with his brother Mike, an architect, how to build a ramp that resembled the Arizona pipes. With his brother's plans in hand, Stewart built a wood-frame half-pipe in the front yard of his house in Encinitas. In a few days, the press had gotten word about Stewart's creation and contacted him directly. Tom quickly formed Rampage, Incorporated and began selling blueprints for his half-pipe design. About 5 months later, Skateboarder magazine featured Stewart and Rampage. Design: the character of a half-pipe depends on the relationship between 4 attributes, most importantly, the transition radius and the height, and less so, the degree of flat bottom and width. Extra width allows for longer slides and grinds. The flat bottom, while valued for recovery time, serves no purpose if it is longer than it needs to be. Thus, it is the ratio between height and transition radius that determines the personality of a given ramp, because the ratio determines the angle of the lip. On half-pipes which are less than vertical, the height, typically between 50% and 75% of the radius, profoundly affects the ride up to and from the lip, and the speed at which tricks must be executed. Ramps near or below 3 feet of height sometimes fall below 50% of the height of their radius. Technical skaters use them for advanced flip tricks and spin maneuvers. Smaller transitions that maintain the steepness of their larger counterparts are commonly found in pools made for skating and in custom mini-ramps. The difficulty of technical tricks is increased with the steepness, but the feeling of dropping in from the coping is preserved. Common mistake in the construction of ramps is constant radius in transitions. Most of the ramps are built with a quarter circle of constant radius for easy construction, but the best ramps are not constant radius but a parabola with little final vert. The parabola allows for easy big air with return still on the curb and not on the flat. Equals skateboarding, freestyle BMX, and aggressive inline skating equals. Frame and support for skateboard, BMX, and inline skating half-pipes frequently consist of a 2x4 lumber framework sheathed in plywood finished with sheets of masonite or skaterlite. Also, a metal frame finished in wood or metal is sometimes used. Most commercial and contest ramps are surfaced by attaching sheets of some form of masonite to a frame. Many private ramps are surfaced in the same manner but may use plywood instead of masonite as surface material. Some ramps are constructed by spot welding sheet metal to the frame, resulting in a fastener-free surface. Recent developments in technology have produced various versions of improved masonite substances such as skaterlite, ramp armor, and hard knocks. These ramp surfaces are far more expensive than traditional materials. Channels, extensions, and roll-ins are the basic ways to customize a ramp. Sometimes a section of the platform is cut away to form a roll-in and a channel to allow skaters to commence a ride without dropping in and perform tricks over the gap. Extensions are permanent or temporary additions to the height of one section of the ramp that can make riding more challenging. Creating a spine ramp is another variation of the half-pipe. A spine ramp is basically two quarter pipes adjoined at the vertical edge. Snow sports. Half-pipes in snow were originally done in large part by hand or with heavy machinery. Pipes were cut into snow using an apparatus similar to a grain elevator. The inventor was Colorado farmer Doug Waugh, who created the pipe dragon used in both the 1998 and 2002 Winter Olympics. The current method of half-pipe cutting is by use of a Zerg pipe monster. Zerg is based in Eggewill, Switzerland. Zerg pipe monsters have been used to build the Winter Olympic half-pipes, Winter X Games, US Open Snowboarding Championship, the World Cup, and many, many more events around the world. The pipe monster uses 5 cutting edges called haspels to cut the snow, rather than a chain. Also, Zerg pipe groomers create an elliptical shape that is safer and allows the rider to gain more speed. Zerg has created a 22-foot pipe monster that for some years made the world's largest elliptical half-pipe. In winter sports, a 22-foot half-pipe is called a superpipe. There are 2 major companies training snowcat operators and building half-pipes for events such as the X Games. Planet Snow Design and Snowpark Technologies were founded on this growing snowboard market. The current world record for highest jump in a half-pipe is held by freestyle skier Peter Olenek. At Winter X Games 14 in Aspen, Colorado, Olenek achieved a height of 24 feet 11 inches. References